Hello Cancer, what's going on? Hope you are doing very, very well. My name is Diane, for those of you who don't know me, and this is Madame Butterfly Tarot, and we're going to do a general reading for August, but you know, it's timeless. All of my readings are timeless, so whenever you happen to find this is when you were meant to see it. You're very welcome here, Cancer. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate it very much. And if you feel called to like and subscribe for me, I would appreciate that very much as well. So we're going to pull a couple of these to start the reading. And please excuse my nasty, busted up nails. Like I usually am pretty, you know, prissy about my nails, but I just haven't had time this week, so sorry. I'm sorry. What's going on for Cancer? What messages do you have for Cancer from this deck? Oh, okay. Take that one. Oh, why has it gone so far away? And let's have two more. That one. And one more. Okay. Okay. So you have Mirror, treat your body like the palace it is. Pretty self-explanatory. Lioness, you've earned all your stripes, and she's reading a book of fairy tales. And Escapist, come home to yourself. So obviously, first message, really clear, treat your body better. So that could be about drinking water or exercising or getting enough sleep, putting your health first. You've come to a point in your story where it's time for you to kind of get your fairy tale, basically. Like all the hard stuff, I mean, not all of it, but like the major karmic lessons are done. And now it's time for the fairy tale. Like it's time for you to rest, and you're very, you know, you're a very strong person now, and you've earned everything that's coming in. You've earned it. You know, you've earned all your stripes, like a tiger, like a warrior. And this card here, come home to yourself, talks about hobbies. Like making time for hobbies and things that you used to enjoy that you've maybe forgotten about, you know. Because you've earned it is the thing. You've obviously been through some pretty tough times where like maybe you were slightly in survival mode. You weren't able to sort of take care of your body. You weren't able to do your hobbies, but now is the time. You know, like in this card, she's like in her jammies reading her book or whatever. So it could be about taking up new hobbies, making time to read, take care of your body, lounging on the beach or whatever. Okay, let's see. So that's what's coming in for you. Now it's time for the fairy tale. Okay, Page of Wands, King of Swords, Eight of Wands, the Hermit. Ooh, you're not going to like that. The Emperor, the King of Wands, the Three of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, the Seven of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles. All right. I can see here with the Hermit, you spend a lot of time by yourself, or you maybe are prone to isolating yourself or doing things by yourself, or it could be about friends, but could just be about not dating. The reason being with the Seven of Swords, you've been through a lot of shit with people. Like the Seven of Swords is deception or, you know, lies, people sort of misrepresenting themselves. It could also just be about tough karmic lessons, but you have had either a period here where you've tended to isolate yourself or you've been in your actual hermit phase of your spiritual journey. It's now time for you to come out of that. There's a King of Swords here that's going to make you an offer. They're going to come in with an Ace of Pentacles. And you have something where you're stepping into a Queen of Wands energy here, either to do with communication or some kind of offer or movement forward here. And there's a new person that wants to come in that could definitely be a fire sign or an Aries. How do I put this? They're going to be very, you know, that could be a female. You just switch the genders around as it suits you. But they're going to be very interested in your body. So now is the time for you to start looking after yourself, right? They're very slow moving, this person, which is surprising because it's fire energy. They're usually pretty fast moving, but this person is very slow. Like the Seven of Pentacles is like, you know, sowing the seeds and watering the seeds. So you guys could start out as friends or something. Just slow. They're slow. And the Page of Wands, this is like you're going to be happy. There's a period of you just coming into a happier energy. I feel like the happy comes in first and then you have the offer. So the happy comes in first. You know, you're going to feel like you have more energy. You're going to feel almost like you've recaptured your youth. There's also something about getting a new perspective. Like the Page of Wands is kind of almost about coming back from the dead, but it's also about seeing things like in a new way, you know, being excited about life again. Tell me about the Three of Cups. Yeah. So you've been like bored. You have the Four of Cups here. This is a feeling of being really bored or fed up or not wanting what people are offering you. You know, whether that's friends or romance, you're just like, I'm not interested. It's because you've been in a period of healing with the Temperance, and also this Temperance, like the Four of Cups energy it's being healed, or it has been healed. That's why you have this Page of Wands, happy, excited energy again. There's been a period where you've been balancing, like transmuting negative energy from the past. Yeah, you've been through some kind of dark night of the soul or like a rebirth. This is a huge celebration that you're coming into now, and it's got nothing to do with this person or your job. It's to do with coming out of a period of like blah, you know, or healing or whatever it was. And with the Six of Swords, like it's I don't want to say it's smooth sailing from now on, but it's certainly the major lessons and the major healing are done, you know. Tell me about this Ace of Pentacles. The Moon. So the Moon is like mysterious. I feel it's a work offer. Tell me about this Ace of Pentacles. Tell me about this Ace of Pentacles. official person. So there's an energy of you moving into this Queen of Wands energy, or King of Wands if you're a guy. You could just switch these genders. Which is like being in charge of stuff, or a CEO, or, you know, being the figurehead, or being the one that's out in front, or even if you're an actor or something, like a part where a lot of people are going to see you, you know, things like this. And it will be to do with communication with the Eight of Wands. So that could be speaking or writing or making movies or, you know, singing, whatever. Leading teams. I feel there's a King of Swords that's going to make you this offer. Message of concern. Yeah. Tell me about this Ace of Pentacles. Well, okay. I don't know if you're going to like this. So, I mean, this could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It's a very smart person that's coming in. They're not necessarily like super emotional, but like very smart. They have an offer for you, like a work offer. To do with, like I said, management or CEO or something. But you might have to leave your current thing to do this. Because it's either you have distant horizons here, so it's either that you have to travel far. It could even be abroad for some of you. Or it's like very, very different than what you're doing now. So you're going to have to decide what you want. Tell me about this Eight of Wands. Could be like uncomfortable for you because, you know, you've been in this hermit energy for so long, like by yourself. And the Queen of Wands is very much not, or the King, they're very much not by themselves. There's usually people around them and, you know, people looking at them. And people talking to them. You're going to have to talk to people and be seen, you know. But it's basically going to land in your lap. There's some kind of opportunity that's going to land in your lap. So this new person that's coming in is like a total breath of fresh air. They're like no one that you've ever dealt with before. You know, the Emperor is like very solid, stable, like daddy, mummy sort of energy. They're usually pretty successful. They don't rush though, like they move very slow. Tell me about this Emperor. Yeah, they're solid. Yeah, pathway. So there's like a new pathway being opened for you to meet this person. Tell me about this Emperor. So this person is deciding. They've been deciding what to do. Because they don't want to be, I think it's taken them a while to do anything because they don't want to be left out in the cold, basically. I'm just going to move these. They weren't super helpful, so. Tell me about this, man, it looks like you're going to take it. You're going to have to walk away from something if you want this. Look, you've got walking away here. So if you take this offer, you're going to have to move. Or you're going to have to walk away from something that you're doing. And for some of you, there's definitely like travel involved. You would have to move, or you'd have to move quite far. I don't think that you want to at first, but I see you doing it eventually, or you're being encouraged to do it, because you see here you have the garden and the gate where she doesn't want to go through the gate, and then here she's gone through the gate. So you might not want to. You might not want to do this. Tell me about this Queen of Wands, please. You have the Five of Pentacles, financial constraints. Tell me about this Queen of Wands, woman holding a heart. This does want to be over here. Tell me about this Queen of Wands, the thinking woman. That's the Queen of Swords. So they're talking about this period here where, you know, the Five of Pentacles is, I want to say here that they're talking more about you being left out in the cold, you know, because of the other cards that surround it. That's why I'm saying that. It's less about money and it's more about you spend a lot of time alone, or you've had to do a lot by yourself because people keep like fucking you over. So you're like, all right, fine, I'll just do it myself. So the Five of Pentacles is like doing things by yourself, which is much harder. Tell me about this Queen of Wands. So if the heart chakra has just come out here, so this sounds weird, but the difference between you choosing to stay where you are and going on this like adventure with this new person or this new job is opening up your heart basically to the person and the job. Because when you're over here doing things by yourself, it's kind of a Queen of Swords energy, or a King of Swords if you're a guy, you know, where you're very careful about who you let into your life, because you've had to be, because of all the dickheads that you've dealt with in the past. But with this new thing, you would get to be more in a softer energy, like this Queen of Cups, where you're like open and showing people your heart. Tell me about this Queen of Wands. The thing is, you're meant to, you already have like a very open heart space. That's the Queen of Wands or the King. They're very warm. That's why they always have people around them. You know, whether you think that about yourself or not, it's a warm-hearted energy. That's why people want to be around them. But there's just a little bit of not wanting to let people in anymore because of all the crap you've dealt with. It's like, you know, easier to stay by yourself, safer. But you're not meant to. You're meant to be in this Queen of Wands energy. And it would, you know, you have cornucopia here, so you would make a lot of money from this. You would literally, so partly it is about money. You know, you have the Five of Pentacles and then cornucopia. So you would be going from like, you know, struggling for money or always having to work really hard for money to just things kind of falling into your lap and lots of money coming in. They're not really saying what it's some kind of healer. You have the healer of the ages. So it would be a position where you're like some kind of healer. So that's why your heart would need to be open for this. Basically, I think you're going to end up dating this person, but it might not be right away because they're trying to get you to like open your heart more, I think is what they're saying. Okay. This new person that's coming in is some kind of healer. Whether that's like their actual job or they just have a very healing energy, I don't know. But They're some kind of healer. I mean, that could be anything, you know, counselor, physician, could be anything. Holistic healer. I see you not wanting to do this though. Because, you know, if you're having to like move really far away or leave something behind, it's like a big deal. And especially if you've been spending a lot of time by yourself, the thought of suddenly being thrust into the spotlight or having to deal with other people might make you want to vomit. Anything else you want to tell Cancer about this Queen of Wands? It would make you really happy because you're meant to be in this Queen of Wands energy or King of Wands. Like you're meant to be doing this. So you're meant to be this healer. You're meant to be making money. You're meant to have your heart open. Because the thing is, you're smart with the Queen of Swords here. You're smart. You might read a lot of books. But I feel like maybe that's all you're doing at the moment. Like you're just by yourself reading or something at the moment. But you're not meant to be doing that. You're meant to be using the things that you know to heal other people. So there's meant to be a combination here of like, you know, soft and smart. Okay, let's see. It would make you happy. It actually would make you very happy. I think you're going to be working as part of a team, just like, ew, but just sit around and listen to people give their wrong opinions about stuff. Be like, oh my God, that's so interesting. I find that so interesting. Thanks. Bye. Thanks for that. Okay. Nothing quite as demoralizing as listening to stupid people talk about things. Tell me about this King of Wands. Okay, so there's a timing thing with this as well. I feel like this person's going to come in, like, the more that you start to take care of your body is actually when this person's going to come in. So, they're also meant to be in your life. Like when you have the Wheel of Fortune, there's like an element of destiny there, but they're waiting for the right time. Tell me about this King of Wands. The Hermit, they're like you. They're kind of a hermit. Very smart. They know a lot of stuff like you. Tell me about this King of Wands. Ten of Cups. This person would make you very happy. Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. Tell me about this King of Wands. Tell me about this King of Wands. The Five of Pentacles. And the Emperor again. You know, you guys would be really happy together. They too have been left out in the cold in the past. They're very generous. Like they're an emperor, you know, or an empress. Like very grounded, very stable. Like, you know, like I said, like daddy, mummy. You know, they've been around the block. They know what's up. The Four of Wands, like this is someone who... Sorry, let me fix the microphone. I think I made it worse. This is someone who wants a commitment, like with the Four of Wands, you know. Yeah, I definitely made that worse. So you have doublers here. You have the King of Wands twice. There. And the Emperor twice. You also have the Queen of Swords twice. So there's definitely Like you're not for letting this person in at first. They're asking you to get a new perspective, you know, to start thinking about all the things that you could have with this person, you know, instead of thinking about, I don't know, maybe protecting yourself or what could go wrong. And I know that's a big ask. I know it is. See, this person might not live where you live. You have the World and the King of Wands. You know, you guys can meet each other online, or you can meet when they're traveling or you're traveling or something. But it would be like a whole new cycle. Lots of swords here. You know, part of it is I think there's a little bit of lack of self-esteem going on here. Is actually could be the core problem here. Like it's manifesting in a different way, but the core problem is not feeling worthy of this. What's this King of Swords doing here? Oh yeah, there they are. See, you're actually very similar. Like you're both very smart. Okay, so let's get some oracle cards. Let's get some of these. Because I guess it's up to you. I mean, you don't have to do it. Obviously, you don't have to do anything. But, you know, I speak from personal experience here when I say that if you don't do what Spirit wants, they will make your life hard. So, just putting that out there. Okay, any messages for Cancer? This is your mission. I was called here on a mission. So this thing that you're about to step into is your mission, like here on Earth, which is why it'll make you happy. You know, there's a lot in this reading, like it's kind of messy. So you could be feeling like that at the moment. You could be feeling messy, or you might have felt like this was a messy process, you know, or there's been like a lot that's been going on. You might be very busy at the moment, or your head is very full, you know. I make way for miracles. So they're asking you, the key here is that you have to open your heart to this. Like you have to want to do it, you know, like no one can make you walk through the gate. This person can come in and make you the offer, but only you. Not to be cheesy, but only you can walk through the gate. You have to want to do this, and I think it's a heart chakra issue. So I don't know, maybe working on your heart chakra would help. Any other messages for Cancer? I trust in my gifts. See, this is some kind of healing gift that you have. That could be to do with your throat chakra, because my throat just closed up there. So you could have some kind of gift. That could be how you're a healer, like through your communication or something. You know, maybe this person's going to give, I don't know, maybe it's like a head counselor. I don't know counseling. Like a head counselor job, you know, for like a big online thing, and you're like, oh my God, I can't do that, you know, or you'd have to move or something, I don't know. Okay, we'll take those three. What a fifth one. No, we're not taking that. I don't like that one. It's about family stuff. I don't think it's relevant here. I think it just fell out. You have facing my shadow removes darkness from the world, and you have I am a light in the world. So you have been facing your shadow. You've been doing a lot of shadow work. And because of that, you know, your vibration is high. You know what I mean? You've removed the shadow, so you're light now, if you see what I mean. It's like been an ascension process. And now you're going to be a light for other people. You're going to be some kind of light in the world for other people. That's part of your mission. Like you're going to show other people how to heal, or show other people how to step into like this Queen of Wands energy or something. But it looks like it's tied in with this person, because like I said before, it could be that you like get to know this person through working for them or something like that. You know? Or like that's how your heart opens to this person or something. There's something about, you know, it's like work first, or you get to know them through work first and you guys start dating or something maybe. Let's get one more. I don't know which one that is. Just give me one. You are not alone. So when this, yeah, you might be feeling very alone. You know, with the Queen of Swords, it's like a very lonesome energy because you have to be really careful about who you're letting in. But with this new person coming in here, you know, it would be the end of you being alone, but you have to let them in, right? And you have to want to let them in. So that's your messages, Cancer. I hope it was useful. Many thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for me. If you feel called to, I would appreciate that very much. And as always, I wish you many blessings, love and light. Take care.